That afternoon, Thomas had to collect some paint for the bridge. Thomas puffed into the yard and backed up to the paint freight cars. But Diesel was in the yard too.
Now I'll show Thomas who's best,
Diesel whispered, and he gave the freight cars an extra hard shunt. Paint cans flew into the air and splattered down all over Thomas. There was green paint, yellow paint, and red paint. Thomas looked very silly indeed.
Stripey boiler,
Laughed Diesel, and he rolled away. I'll show those Diesels, puffed Thomas. So the next time Thomas saw Harry, he gave him a biff. And when Harry saw James, he gave him a bump. Soon the Diesels and the Steamies were biffing and banging and being bumped all over the island. The engines were in a terrible mess. Everyone needed a good washdown, and no work had been done. That evening, Sir Topham Hatt came to see the engines. "You have caused confusion and delay," Sir Topham Hatt said. "The bridge isn't painted, and we will not be able to open the airport. No vacationers will come to Sodor this year," he added sternly. And all the engines were very sad. "No vacationers?" moaned Thomas. "And no airplanes?" groaned Percy. "And now you will never move out of my sheds," huffed Emily. All of the engines were miserable. And that night, they dreamed about what might happen to them if no vacationers came to Sodor. The engines were all very worried that they wouldn't be useful anymore. James was dreaming about the fairground. James dreamt he was a carnival game. Lots of children were lining up, and so was Sir Topham Hatt. The children threw lots of balls at James, and one even knocked the coconut out of his funnel. "I don't like this," groaned James. "I was much happier when I was a clean and shiny engine." But it wasn't only James who was having a bad dream. Gordon was having a bad dream too. Gordon dreamt he was put in a playground. Children were swinging on him. They slid down his slide, and they climbed all over him.
"The indignity," huffed Gordon. "I wish I was a real engine again."
Edward dreamt he was a scarecrow. He sat in a field, up to his axles in mud, and Farmer McColl didn't seem to care. But Percy had the worst dream of all. He dreamt he was a roller coaster ride. He rattled up the rickety rails and all the way down again. "Bust my boiler!" wailed Percy.
As the night begins to creep fast across the sky, the engines start their troubled sleep, and here's the reason why.
Roll up, have a try, go on, take a shine. Roll up, have a throw, have you had a go? Remember how James was so proud and so vain. Look at him now, well, he won't be again. Queue up, take a swing on this fussy thing. Queue knows where the barley grows? Who's that? Who's that? Growing weeds where there's sowing seeds. Remember how Edward would help and he'd share. But Farmer McColl doesn't now seem to care. Roll up, take a ride on the scary side. Roll up, it's a thrill when he takes a spill. Remember how Percy took Mel there on time. For all of these engines, it's the end of the line.
As the dawn began to break, Thomas was dreaming too. In his dream, he was wondering how he could make things better. As he wondered, Thomas puffed along a misty mountain track. And there was Lady. Lady was a very special steam engine. She worked high up in the mountains. Lady was shunting freight cars with Rusty the diesel engine. Thomas was surprised. "We always finish our jobs when we work together," puffed Lady.